Hey guys, M13 here. I just bought breakfast. This is I guess it's a life update, but I'm mostly going to talk about welcome Jewish people. What's that? Going to talk about VR because I just recently I got a pair of MetaQuest 2 VR goggles. And if you're not familiar, like PlayStation 4 has VR and it didn't do very well. PlayStation 5 has VR, also not selling that great. But then you have these things called MetaQuest, and they're not very powerful, but the bonus is there's no cables. So the entire system is just goggles that you put on your face, and there's no wires that come off of them. And then they have two controllers that you hold in each hand that work really well. And yeah, it's my first experience with it. I've done VR once or twice in like malls or at amusement parks where you put something on your head and you do a virtual roller coaster or whatever. And this is actually better than anything I've done in the past, because everything I've done in the past has always had really blocky type graphics, but the graphics in this are fairly realistic. And there's a MetaQuest 3 out right now, and I don't even think I don't know if I'd want that, because the MetaQuest 2 is so good that it takes me a while to adjust to reality after I use it. So I'm theorizing that if I was using the MetaQuest 3 and it was even more virtual and more engrossing, that's not the word, more when you're into something, if it was even more that, then I would assume that I would have even more difficulty pulling myself out of it. I'll give you an example. My son said that he played it for an hour, his first time ever, and then he played it for an hour. And at the end of the hour, he was reaching for his phone. And when he went for his phone, he just put his hand near his phone and closed it. And he expected the phone to go into his hand, but it didn't. Because in virtual reality, whenever you pick something up, you just kind of move your hand near the thing and close your hand, and then that grabs it. You don't have to grab it perfectly. You know what I mean? Like if I wanted to pick up this rock, I could just go like this and close my hand, and then the rock would be in my hand. So that's what he was trying to do with his phone after just his first time using VR and after only playing for 1 hour. So I'm thinking like, okay, that's immersive. Immersive? That's the word maybe I was trying to say. I think, MetaQuest 2 is immersive enough. I don't want even more immersive. I've been watching videos. I've been curious about VR gaming. I've been thinking about getting a PS5 VR unit because I've owned a PS5 since day one. If I had more money, I probably would have just bought a PS5 VR unit just to check it out, but I don't. And someone gifted me 2 MetaQuest 2s. So I'm like, my son gets one, I get one, and I'm blown away by it. Like, even though I'm very familiar with the games and I've watched multiple videos, and I was considering buying a PS5 one, so I watched videos on it, and I'm still blown away. Like, it's just crazy, man. And this is the older Quest 2 I'm playing. The Quest 3, I can't even, and it's only going to go up from here? It's just insane. You don't even need to use the controllers. You can program it to read your hands, which is fun for me because when I'm in VR world and I hold up my hand, I have all my fingers. Although the last 2 fingers sometimes dance around like this because they're not really there and the computer's trying to figure out what to do with them. But other than that, when I make a fist, I got a full fist. I can look at it. I've examined my hands multiple times in VR world. It's pretty sad, to be honest. Yeah. So, and I have a sold-out tour coming in like 3 days or something. And normally I'm all stressed out and obsessing at the beginning of a tour, but this one I'm doing well because I just got a new toy, so I'm obsessing over that, and I'm not worrying too much about the tour. Which is it's a good thing. It's a good. I'm gonna say that's bad for the tour because I'm not focused on them. No, I'm ready for the tour. I'm still doing what needs to be done. I've got 2 of my scooters in the shop right now, and they'll both be fixed today. So I'm gonna be moving those around. But yeah, like if you've never, I don't know, it's not for everybody, because the guy who gifted it to me, he tried it for a few hours. I think he got dizzy and he was like, okay, yeah. And then that was it. And then he's like, oh, I heard you like this kind of stuff. Did you want mine? I'm like, yes, please. Thank you very much. How many times do I need to suck? Never mind. So yeah, so I got the 2. But yeah, like it's amazing. I'm playing, the game I really wanted to play it's called Demio. It's like a virtual reality board game, which sounds boring, but it's like, I don't know, the board, I set it up so that the board is my bed. So I walk around my bed and look at it, and my bed is this like landscape, Dungeons and Dragons type board game, 3-dimensional on my bed. And then, yeah, and I can pick up and move pieces. And the cool thing is I can lean against the board because the board is my bed, so I can reach out and physically touch this virtual reality thing. And then, but even though that's the game that I've really wanted to play, I'm saving it. Instead, right now I'm playing a game called, I don't remember. I'll write it it'll be the first comment. It's something like Death Again something. I don't know. It's an archery roguelite. It's an archery roguelite. Archery roguelite RPG shooter. There you go. So you just go around with a bow and arrow in this like dungeon, or this like, I think you're in heaven or something, purgatory, and you just battle these other people, and some of them run at you. For the tutorial, it's just you fighting monks in robes with arrows, and I'm like, oh, okay, I can do this. This is fun. And then I get into the actual game itself, and there's demons sprinting at me head on, and I'm trying to shoot them with arrows before they reach me. And that's, like, it's not even a horror game, but it's pretty horrifying when you're in virtual reality. But it's so amazing to be able to, like, just, like, lean around corners and whatnot. Like, because you're in the game, you're holding this bow, and you can literally do this and shoot the bow and just physically lean back. Like, there's no difference between what I'm doing now and what you do in the game. Because the head tracking and the hand tracking, it's perfect. I guess the technology could still get better, but not by much. You know what I mean? It tracks everything so smoothly. Yeah. And then once I finish this sold out tour, I get a whole like 4 days to rest, and then I do another sold out tour. So, yeah. At least the tours are going well. Oh, and I had 2 tours. I had like a tour about a week ago and a tour a week before that. So, but those are like mini ones, like 2 people rent me or 4 people rent me. The 2 sold out tours are like 11-day big things. That's an electric scooter right there. Oh, that was interesting. It said Vespa on it, but it's not a Vespa. There's no way. Okay, well, that's the life update. I'm just buying breakfast. There's another airplane. Yeah, so, yeah. Tours are doing well. I'm getting into VR. And I'm still very well hung. So, M13 out.